Good morning, everyone. My name is Diane Jones-Konahowski. I'm Senior Manager of Fund Development and Communications with Distress Centre Calgary. Distress Centre, Calgary's only 24-hour crisis service, has partnered with 911, Calgary Police Service, and the Calgary Fire Department to promote 211 to citizens in need. Distress Centre has provided 24-hour crisis support to Calgary and Southern Alberta for 45 years. We do this primarily through our 24-hour crisis line, but we have also expanded to chat and email and a texting service for our youth program. We also have face-to-face counseling for clients who have issues that can't be solved over the course of a phone call. We also answer the 211 line, which is a telephone-based information and referral service that connects Calgarians to thousands of community, government, and social services. 211 is a joint initiative with United Way Calgary, Distress Centre Calgary, and the City of Calgary. Our highly trained professional information and referral specialists answer calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We also offer this service in over 200 languages. More than 35,000 calls are made to 211 each year, and through this partnership we are hoping to increase this number. Distress Centre Calgary is proud to partner with 911, Calgary Police Services, and the Calgary Fire Department to deliver 211. Our partners this morning are represented by Jerilyn Dressler, Acting Executive Director with Distress Centre, Richard Hines, Commander from Calgary's 911 Centre, Carol Henke, Spokesperson with the Calgary Fire Department, and from the Calgary Police Service, we have Acting Inspector Blake Hebert. To explain the partnership further, I'd like to invite Jerilyn Dressler to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here this morning as we launch an exciting new partnership with Calgary Police Service, Calgary Fire Department, and 911. As Diane mentioned, 211 is an information and referral service specifically for community, government, and social services. Distress Centre connects people to help they need every day, 24 hours a day, through the delivery of the 211 phone service in Calgary and area. We know that it can be difficult for people who need help in Calgary to find it. Each year, thousands of requests for emergency services are made by people who can benefit from the help of 211. Distress Centre's highly trained professional 211 staff can connect callers in non-emergent situations to the help they need when they need it. First responders in Calgary will be equipped with the knowledge of the 211 service. When responding to individuals who require ongoing support, they can direct them to access support and information through the 211 line. Awareness is key if we are to appropriately connect Calgarians to 211. Awareness of the 211 service among first responders and the general public can help ensure that emergency services are reserved for situations that truly require them. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerilyn. I'd like to now call Richard Hines to come up and talk about the partnership from the 911 Centre point of view.
Thanks, Diane. Good morning. I'm Richard Hines, the Commander of Calgary's 911. I'm very happy to be here to talk about the partnership between the City of Calgary's Emergency Services and the Distress Centre's 211 initiative. The Calgary Emergency Communication Officers are often the first point of contact between citizens and the first responders they need. Our officers quickly and efficiently evaluate and dispatch the Calgary Fire Department, the Calgary Police Service, and EMS. But sometimes we also receive calls from citizens that need help that goes beyond what Calgary's emergency responders can provide. That's where 211 comes in. At 911, our job isn't to decide what an emergency is for a citizen. We are here to provide a service to Calgarians. If we receive a call from an individual who has no food at the house and their children are hungry, if someone is struggling with mental illness, or if someone requires support after leaving a domestic violence situation, we can connect them with 211. These are all emergencies to those individuals, and we are proud to partner with the Distress Centre to be able to connect these individuals with the 211 professional network. Calgary's 911 Center, along with our partners at Calgary Police and the Calgary Fire Department, are pleased to support this initiative that ensures that citizens receive the support they need beyond what emergency responders can do in the short term. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. That is our program, really short and sweet. We do have Jerilyn, Richard, Carol, and Blake available for media interviews if you'd like to interview them. There is some time following this very brief program. So thank you very much for attending this morning. I don't know if there are any questions you want to have, or if you'd just rather do a bit of a scrum with the individuals.
You just pull them right up to the podium, so we're already set up.
Yeah, you'd like to do that? So that's great. So would you like to have them come up to the podium and then fire some questions at them?
Sure.
Does that work for you guys?
Sure.
Great. Probably Carol as well from Fire Department.
We'll start with.
And, yeah,
We'll start with.
whatever.
Yep.
Sure.
Can you just say your name and title again, please?
Sure. My name is Jerilyn Dressler, and I'm the Acting Executive Director with Distress Center Calgary.
What kinds of things do you think you're gonna have because of this new opportunity? What kinds of questions do you think you'll get?
So the calls we receive now are really a wide variety of calls that come in. Our top needs are around emergency financial assistance, as you can imagine. They're also around basic needs like shelter, food, clothing. We anticipate that the needs are going to continue and remain diverse. What we're going to see is people whose situation has exacerbated to the point where they have requested the help of emergency services. So we may be dealing with more urgent situations, but we are accustomed to dealing with those situations at Distress Center. We handle those situations every day. We just may see a higher volume of them, given that the people have access to emergency services prior to contacting us.
How important is it for you guys to evolve? I mean, now you can text and that kind of stuff. Tell me about how important is it for you guys to evolve?
So currently, we're not offering the text or email chat service on the 211 program or in the 211 program. We do offer that service on our general crisis services, limited hours available via distresscenter.com. And it is really important we are examining, expanding our services on 211 to chat and text, because it's important to be available in the way that Calgarians are most comfortable receiving help.
What about the idea of just having one location for one number? How important do you think that is?
That's huge. It can be very complicated to access help and support in Calgary and anywhere, I believe, in Canada. 211 is an access point. It's a primary number, one place people can call, 3 digits, where we can direct them from there. There's 5,500 social service agencies in our database in Calgary and area alone. We can then connect people, once they call 211, to any number of those services. Typically 3 to 4 on a phone call. We'll give them the referrals, and actually we also follow up with callers to ensure that they receive the help that they needed.
So you guys see more than 35,000 calls a year, right?
At distress centers, yeah. So that number, 35,000 is on our 211 program alone.
Okay.
We receive over 100,000 calls a year at distress center.
I know she was mentioning earlier we expect this number to increase.
Mm-hmm.
Why the increase?
So we have been seeing an increase in volumes just due to our current economic downturn. We've been receiving more calls related to unemployment, more calls related to emergency financial assistance and financial assistance in general. We do believe that the awareness of the 211 service is lacking, and we're trying to increase that. We want people to know where to call when they need support, so we can then connect them to the help that they need. This is something that we've been working on for some time now, and we're really excited about this initiative and this partnership, because we think this will get the information to the people who need it when they need it.
So this partnership is about spreading the word.
Absolutely.
There's nothing new service-wise.
211 has been available since 2005. So the program itself and Distress Center has been around since 1970. So nothing new in terms of the service being offered. The partnership itself and ensuring that that first responders have this information, because they can't be expected to know. They have so much on the go and they're in such high demand. They're responding to urgent and emergent situations, that the background information of where this person can be supported after they leave, we really want to step in and help take care of that and help connect people.
Sorry, with the streamline now to all 3 essential services, it's safe to say that the partnership could and probably will save a life or two.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think emergency services certainly is saving lives every day. And at Distress Center, we are working with emergency services every day to keep people safe, whether that's from domestic violence situations or self-harm or suicide. We are certainly already working closely with emergency services, and I think that will only increase from here forward.
Our call center representative, perhaps you could comment fully, what does this mean? If more people know about 211, does that mean fewer non-emergent calls coming into 911? Is that what you hope for?
You know, 911 is capable of taking the call volume. We take about 1,200,000 calls a year. But what it allows us to do is to connect with somebody and get them to the help they need. Then we're able to take the next call coming into 911. Because as I said when I was speaking earlier, we don't define people's emergency. You know, we've had people phone, and I'll use this call where it's an elderly gentleman. He's all by himself. He has nothing but him and his TV. And when his TV stopped working, his world ended for him. But he actually couldn't call to get help for his TV because he had a dial phone. And you can't get help for your TV if you have a dial phone. You need a push button phone. So he called 911 because that was the only number he knew. But you can see where 211 would play a critical role in that call because we can get help over to him. We can get the Kirby Center involved through 211. So really it's about connecting. And if we can do that quicker, then I look at it from a 911 perspective, our lines are open for the next call that's coming in. But I'm not looking to divert calls to 911. I think I'm just looking to connect in the community as efficiently as possible. And if it might not save a life every time, but it might improve quality of life every time.
And do 211 calls come through the same operations center?
No. So we are standalone 911, but we get calls and we go, this is a great call for 211. Just like 211 would get a call in regards to some of the, you can imagine some of the crises that go, and they recognize it's a 911 response that needs to complement the 211 response. So it's great working back and forth. It's an efficiency. So you don't need more people. We just get to work better.
And do you think that also maybe for some people who use the idea of the gentleman, that maybe for some people who are a little more challenged, it may be having one number can make things a lot easier for them?
Absolutely, and especially around our vulnerable people. They don't have the ability, lots of folks, to have the BlackBerry to put in the 6 numbers and to figure out how to get from A to B to C. They need it very simple, and they need a human voice to make that connection. So 100%.
So when did these discussions start happening? I know you're announcing it today, but now when did you guys really want to start doing this?
When did we start the discussions? Well, we certainly started it in the spring when we really had the formal discussions. But we've always been working with 211. That's always been there. But what we saw was an opportunity to train our emergency communication officers. There's 300 men and women who answer 911. And what we really thought is if Diane's group and 211 could come and talk about 5,500 services that they connect to. Once our officers knew, then we were online. And then you look at the Calgary Police Service. As you sit there and you want to give numbers out to folks and you're talking in their house, what number would you give them? Just 211. So that education now has gone on to the police service and the fire department. So their frontline responders can say, we've got a number that you can give. So it was really about educating frontline responders to what's already existing in the 211 environment.
And now we need to educate the public.
And this opportunity exactly that we've been given is if you need help around an emergency, call 911. If it's about community and support, call 211. And no matter what number you call, we're here to support you.
Carol, how do you see the fire departments using this number? Obviously, you see it as a value number as well.
Well, we have over 1,300 firefighters, working across the city. And if you know anything about firefighters, they always want to help, right? We respond to emergencies, yes, but sometimes we recognize that it's not a 911 emergency, but we still want to leave some tools and make that link so that people are left better off than when we arrived. And so 211 is that opportunity to, let people make that call themselves or assist them with making that call or making that call for them so that we know they're getting the help that they need.
And Blake, for your officers on the street, obviously 211 is a number that they're going to enjoy giving out as well.
Yeah, you know what? It's very similar to the Calgary Fire Department here, is that when we have the opportunity to be out there with the citizens, it's a great opportunity that we can leave them with something further. When the emergent component is done, we can leave them with something further so that they can help themselves for future down the road. So
does it feel good to be able to do that? I mean, you're faced with all these situations where you just, I imagine officers want to do more, but now there's 3 digits that help. Can you put that into context for me, that now you have a really simple tool? Is that true?
Yeah, you know what? All of our officers are out there always looking for that ability to help beyond the emergency again. So that one-stop shop for us to be able to give the citizen, the person that we're dealing with, that one simple solution into the professionals who can guide them in that right direction and take that further time that maybe we may not have that at that particular moment, but they can spend that time and work with it as their time goes on with it. So.
And how do you plan to work with community leaders in that case to get the word out further to
Sorry, again, what was that?
What's the plan then for CBS to engage with community leaders and community organizations to better get the word out rather than just a one big press conference?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what, we're working with our own media folks here with inside of CPS, and we're doing some internal and external messaging as well to try to get that out to all the different community, both leaders and the community events throughout the city. So.
Can you kind of spell out a situation? We always work in pictures and stories a little bit too. So just what's a situation in the field that this could have really helped? Like, is it a fire? Is it a crime scene? How can people relate to this? Who would be helped by this in a scene that you beat to or something?
Yeah, you know what, I'll give you an example of what actually did happen within the city. An elderly gentleman was found shoplifting in a store. He was shoplifting your basic need groceries. And one of our members came across this person and recognized that there was, with a very short conversation with this person, that there was a lot more going on for this person than just what was on the face of it. So our officer was aware of 211, actually, at the time. And what they did right on the side of the road is make that phone call right there and then to 211, realizing that, yes, there was a policing component to what was going on there, but there was a much greater need for this person than just intervention through court systems or through policing. So what that officer was able to do was connect to 211, and I believe that person was connected to 3 or 4 different agencies in and around City of Calgary to help him out.
Through the officer's phone or just kind of?
Through the officer's phone, right on the side of the road with their police-issued cell phone. They were able to, they phoned 211 right from the side of the road with this person, explained who they were, explained the situation that they had there with this person, and then literally handed the phone to the elderly person so that they could get connected to those resources that really was needed.
That's got to feel good.
It was.
Is there one of you who would like to comment on why people haven't been using it as much as they should or could?
So really, it's an awareness piece. 211, it takes a lot of different players to make the 211 service happen. We are partnered with United Way, with the City of Calgary, and Distress Center has recently taken over the marketing of 211s. We're really aggressively ensuring that Calgarians are made aware of the service. We have issued a pretty widespread marketing campaign for 211, so you may see it on the big billboards around, electronic billboards around Calgary. But we're working really hard to make sure that different, not only individuals, Calgarians, but organizations, community leaders are familiar with the service, so we can not only encourage individuals to contact the 211 service, but also professionals supporting individuals who need the service and who need to be connected to other services. When you call 211, it doesn't end with a call to 211. It's really about connecting that person to another organization or service that can help. So we might be sending a call, as someone had mentioned, over to 911. We may be sending a call to 811, our new health line. We could be referring them to 311 because it's actually a municipal service. So we actually, all of these N11 numbers work quite closely together. So we're also hoping that with the launch of 811, that people become more familiar with the different N11 numbers. There's 211 for community social government services, and then we have the other N11 numbers as well, including 811 and 911.
I was going to ask, is that part of the challenge, setting yourself apart from?
Sure. So we're
411, 311?
absolutely, and they're all very unique in terms of what they offer, and they're all CRTC designated. But what we find is that a call to any one of them will get you where you need to go, right? We if someone calls us and their need is emergent, we send them over to 911, or we keep them on the line while we're on the phone with 911. We pass calls to HealthLink every day. The City of Calgary, 311, and ourselves, we pass calls back and forth all day. A call to any one of these numbers will get you to where you need to go, but ultimately we want people to be clearer on what each service can provide. That's what we're hoping for.